Um, well, it's kind of hard to say. The house, first of all, the house, the way it came into existence was the Doreen and Jack and so the other mom and dad, Sonny's mom and dad, and then also there was one of the fellows' parents who's passed on. But you actually had the parents were actively talking to the ministry about trying to set up a place for their kids to go to, and most of them were in Sunny Hill, so they.
But there's a dynamic.
Yeah.
What is behind this dynamic that holds this house together?
Well, that's the start of it. I'm saying like the parents at the start, they had their kids in Sunny Hill and they were looking for a place.
Right.
The parents actually together worked on it. They worked together with Grace McCarthy, I guess her name was, an old Socred minister of health, and they finally were able to actually get approval of it. Once they had approval for it, the parents themselves helped design the house. They also they had a say on who was going to be staying there.
Right.
So right from the beginning, they were quite active and involved in advocating for their kids. So and the house, that's the very beginning of the house. In fact, there's pictures, if you go to the house, there's pictures of all the guys that ended up living there being on hand for when the sod was turned before the house started being built. And then, so when the actual house was built and set up, the parents were very active and both they were instrumental in getting the house going, and they also kept an eye on who the staff was, and were closely, kept their connections. Like Jack and Doreen, either had Craig home every weekend or visited him, and the other parents also did the same. So you actually had the dynamic of the parents still being involved. You have and the staff early on. A lot of them staying there for right from the beginning onwards, and it was a very nice cooperation both from the parents and the actual staff and the people that managed the house. So when their problems came up, you had three-pronged attack with everybody, with lots of people's input, and the staff always felt that we had a lot of say in trying to solve issues, and it was like there was no issue that we couldn't solve. And early on, you had the house was run by non-profit society, but there's always the Ministry of Health has had a lot of say in this. It was their money, etc. But at various times when there was cutbacks in that, there was pressure to the house originally had 4 guys, and there was a relief, a room that was used for relief.
Like respite?
Yeah, like a respite house. And then at one point when in the middle of the cutbacks and that, there was a pressure to bring some guys over from